Mark Levine, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for this interview.
It's my pleasure, Libby. We love our channel I-14 here, I can't tell you.
So let's start with the deep state. Do you see any similarities between the deep state in Israel and the U.S.?
The deep state, you know, it's such a passive phrase, isn't it, to explain your phony Supreme Court. Your Supreme Court reminds me of the old Soviet Politburo. They appoint themselves. They talk loudly with righteous indignation. They pretend they're actually doing something legal. They wrap themselves in black robes and claim to be doing justice. And they've decided to seize power, and this has been going on now, as you know, since the 1990s, from the people. The people of Israel do not live in a democracy anymore. They live in a judicial tyranny. It is that simple. We've never seen anything like this in Western civilization. In fact, there is nothing like this in Western civilization. Your court is worse than any court that I've ever known because it pretends to be promoting democracy. It pretends to be using judicial review as we do in the United States and other countries. It is not. It is a tyranny. And Israel has the most aggressive, iron-fisted judicial tyranny really on the planet.
Could the Trump administration refuse to work with the Shin Bet chief, Ronen Bar, if the court forces the Israeli government to keep him?
If I were the head of our FBI, I'd want nothing to do with the guy. First of all, he's a complete failure. The greatest attack on the state of Israel with the greatest consequences, certainly in modern times, somehow this guy missed it. Well, how the hell do you have the equivalent of an FBI director, a domestic security guy? Oops, I missed it. Oops, I didn't tell the prime minister about it. And then you have your Politburo that pretends to be a Supreme Court that says it's anti-democratic if the prime minister of the state of Israel decides to remove this incompetent buffoon. So we on the Supreme Court decide that for now we're going to stay it because we don't want the prime minister to have all this power where he can decide who actually reports to him. He should resign because he is a disgrace. He will go down in history as a disgrace. And I can't speak for our government, but if I were our FBI director, I'd want absolutely nothing to do with him. Why? Because he's a complete screw-up. That's why.
If the court were to place Prime Minister Netanyahu in a state of incapacity, is there a possibility that the Trump administration would not recognize the change of government in Israel?
So if the Supreme Court does that, I can tell you on my platforms, and I won't be alone, there's going to be massive condemnation, a complete humiliation of the state of Israel by this court. This court is defying the whole reason that Israel was founded in the first place. The left in Israel is as crazy as the left in the United States. They would rather the left in Israel weaken the state of Israel against its real enemies if they can take out the prime minister and appoint their own. That's how sick this is. Benjamin Netanyahu, in free countries, is considered heroic.
Mark, from a U.S. perspective, how does it look when an appointment official, in this case, the Attorney General, backed by the court, forces the government to follow his directives?
Your Attorney General would be very comfortable being the Attorney General for any despot on the face of the earth, because that's what she is. She's an attorney for a... well, who the hell is she an attorney for? I mean, is she the attorney for the Supreme Court? Is she attorney for the people? Is she the attorney for the government? I mean, imagine having power like this. Again, whatever happened to separation of powers? Whatever happened to the fact that you have an executive, you have a legislative, you have a judicial? What is happening to our beloved Israel? What's happening is it's unraveling from a representative democracy to a centralized tyranny. You have an attorney general who's supposed to have a lane and stay in that lane. Literally, Libby, Israel has none of these things anymore. It's frightening.
So do you think it's time for people to take to the streets?
There needs to be a groundswell of people in Israel. You know, you've got non-governmental organizations in America and in Europe spending millions of dollars funding the left in Israel. You have Ehud Barak and other reprobates were prime minister for about 14 minutes, and then they want to be prime minister again. They're extremely jealous of Netanyahu and his government, his longevity. I don't see as many people in the streets for the good guys as I see for the bad guys. The people need to start speaking out. They need to start showing up. They need to start making demands of their own, just like the kooks on the left.
Can we trust President Trump not to strike a weak deal with Iran, but only one that fully dismantles their nuclear program?
I think the likelihood of there being a bad deal is very low under Donald Trump, because he's like the king of the deal makers. And we're not dealing with Biden, you know, who's bouncing into padded walls and all the rest of it. Donald Trump's going to take a very close look at this thing. He said Iran will not get nukes. I believe him. I know that we have the right prime minister and the right president at the right time. So I have to believe the right thing will be done. These are two tremendous, not just leaders in America and Israel, but world leaders who are smart like foxes and who are tough as hell. And I think that's why they get along so well. So that allows me to sleep at night.
Mark Levine, thank you so much for this interview.
It's always a great honor. I love speaking to you folks and to the people of Israel. God bless you.